My name is Oluwasegun, and I have my co-presenter here by name Mr. Sylvester Akiu. We are both students of Human Resources Management, and we are here to present a topic on strategic management model. And our focus of industry of discussion today is Sportify. Sportify is a Swedish-based organization that has come into limelight during the 1990s. They brought innovation into the musical industry of how you streamline music into your appliances like your smartphone, your PC, and laptops. They've really established themselves in the musical industry from the traditional way of doing things into a digital way of making sure that music is streamlined into your appliances in a more digital way. And I want to say that Spotify has come to establish itself in the music industry, and they are getting stronger and stronger than even those that have been in the musical industry before them, like the Emmy, the Sony, the Universal, that are still even making use of this traditional way of doing things. So to really talk about strategic management of retailing, Spotify has really come to establish himself.
Yeah, just what my colleague had just said. This is a technological advancement in doing things. Most of the musical, like the Amazon, iPad, whatever, they have not actually been doing things right compared to when Spotify have just come to revolutionize the digital industry. That was actually doing it by a means of strategic change, a strategic change. They have what we call information technologies, which they applied in order to beat what other people were doing before. With this, you see, they came out with a new information, new technology, iPad, iTunes. They were able to actually project from the traditional way to the new way. Although in this change there are some evidence of successful reaction in change management. There are still some companies that they don't want to change, no matter what. Haven't seen what Spotify are doing. They don't want to change. They want to remain the way they are doing things. And such companies, when you think of like the Universal, like the Sony, their product is not marketable because they don't want to involve this change or incorporate this change to their system.
If I may want to chip in just a little to what my colleague had rightly said, if we look at Spotify introduction into the musical industry today, the digital industry has grown in market share because of innovation brought by Spotify, and Spotify has really established itself, financially. Even though we can see in the market world today that Spotify is expanding. Even of recent, I read in the newspaper that Spotify has really established itself in Japan. They have built a multi-dimensional, musical industry in Japan, and that is really making them to be a focus, or to be focused and to be an industry of reputation within the musical environment.
What is the purpose of change? Change is to bring cost effective for more productivity, competitiveness in the industry, which Spotify has actually been doing. When you look at what we call, such as Amazon, they have actually transformed, like Tesco, like YouTube. They have put new technology into their system, and this makes them to be more viable in the market. This is an age where everything they do now is becoming technologically advanced in the market industry. So Spotify has actually put their stand in order to really become one of the big musical digital company in the world.
If we look at the models, some of the models that Spotify is really using, most of it, Spotify as make use of this SWOT model of making sure that they are well established. And when you look at the SWOT model of what we're talking about, the strength and the weakness, and the threat and the opportunity, within the SWOT model, Spotify is known to have a very massive musical library, which make it very easy for the youth, to get into and download music into their appliances. And this is what so some of these other musical industry, like the Emmy, like the Sony, they have not really make use of the opportunity. And this is one of the strengths of Spotify. But instead, it uses the opportunity that the other musical industry has not been utilizing. And also, they have their weaknesses too. Like you see, Spotify, it has this it has what is known as free subscription of you downloading their music, and it's really affecting the financial strength of Spotify. And this is one of their weaknesses. If they can allow people to pay some subscription for the downloading of music, this will really enhance their financial base.
When you speak on the 7 Marquez modules, it's talking of how holistic the entire organization should be. When you talk of, number 1, the share value. The share value is the center of the organization, what they are, where they are going to, how they are going to get there. Then you talk of the strategic. The strategic of the company is what they have a plan to make sure that the company continue in existence. Then you talk of the structure of the company, the hierarchy of the organization from top to bottom, from bottom to top. Then you talk of the staff. The staff, they have one of the best engineers that can actually put their product into the market. When you talk of the skill, they have one of the best skill workers. When you talk of the innovation, they're out there. So these are the area, the 7 Marquez points that Spotify have been using to dominate the market.
Now, if we want to look at it, that Spotify has only come to establish itself. How does it maintain its strength? How does it maintain its formidability within the music industry? How is it going to stay within the music industry that is not really, pushed aside? And this is where the question comes up. How can it position itself within the musical industry that it will continue to be a force to reckon with? Well, there are so many strategies that Spotify, can rely on. And sincerely speaking, if you want to say that we have the threats on the side to its external challenges. To its external challenges, which Spotify really needs to look into. First of all, Spotify do have a strong and clear copyright policy, which it needs to protect. That nobody should be able to have access to its copyright policy. It must have a law that is put in place to make sure that this is protected.
Using the 7 pistol ideas in channel your product to the market, the political aspect of it. Spotify has been able to actually go through this process, making sure that the political environment of the area which they operate is more viable and more conducive for them to really. Then talk of the economical area of it. Economically, they are able to really work out their system to make sure that whatever they are producing, that the people will be able to buy it on a cheaper rate. Technologically, they are there because every time they bring out new innovation and new technology. And you talk of the demographic, which is the what do you call it, the tender age. So you find that this age we are now is a musical age where you see boys are now putting earpad into their ears, moving, which actually is good for them. You talk of the law that they are operating within and actually enable them to really put everything into the market, which we know that actually Spotify, they are doing very, very well.